Over 80% of viewers are not subscribed to GlobeTrotting, so make sure to subscribe so you never miss any upcoming video. Deliveries of aircraft are no doubt hugely important. They allow airlines to grow their fleet, boost capacity, become more efficient, and generally operate their billion-dollar investments in the right manner. Therefore, when aircraft manufacturers experience difficulties and delays in the delivery of said planes, the knock-on effect onwards to customers in question is huge, and something that isn't entirely welcomed by airlines receiving said planes. This is why, following the global pandemic, and with crucial supply chains being impacted, there's been a substantial internal crisis at these key manufacturers of being Airbus and Boeing. Deliveries for brand new aircraft are coming close to a year later than first expected on both manufacturers' fronts. And of course, therefore, it's not an issue that strictly centers around one or the other, but for both. And for all aircraft programs. Of course, Boeing is working through their 787 and MAX backlogs, with the MAX being grounded for a prolonged period and deliveries for the 787 having been suspended quite frequently over recent years. While of course issues central to Boeing, these are valid concerns as why we've seen the supply chain impacted and of course airlines having to delay deliveries. But the reality is, it's not just these programs that are experiencing delays. Even over at Airbus, they're seeing delivery delays that have stretched far and wide across their aircraft programs, from their smallest planes to their middle-ranged planes. The timeframe for improvements is also something that has varied. Having the chance to speak recently with a few airlines myself, I know that the forecast is not necessarily wholly optimistic, with the general idea that conditions will persist for the foreseeable future. With recent tensions escalating in Ukraine and Russia, these supply chains have only been impacted further than probably a lot of these companies would have liked. Pairing that with labour shortages, something you've heard me mention on many numerous occasions, but something that is really a crisis as determined by many airlines, brings further concerns about delivering these planes and also crucial parts arriving at the makers of the plane on time. On the other hand, aircraft manufacturers are remaining cautiously, I'd argue, optimistic that better days are ahead, that being the polar opposite to what we've witnessed take place at airlines. This is, of course, in some degree an accurate representation. Of course, things will eventually get better, but it may present at the same time an inaccurate idea that it will be soon, with several vital analysts and publications like Airline Weekly, Reuters, and even Flight Global indicating that we will be seeing far worse than what is ongoing, a storm that will not just end, and it's going to continue to be turbulent for some time before we eventually see the situation get better. But at the same time, with all of that being said, and of course the situation being so sensitive, you can't entirely blame aircraft manufacturers for voicing their intention to turn the corner soon publicly. It is important for shareholders and actually just for the programs themselves, whether we're looking at the 787 or the A220. There are customers that are eyeing up both of these aircraft types and many others in the portfolio of these manufacturers. Therefore, any potential customers will want that vote of confidence in the product. If either respective manufacturer is saying that the situation is continuing to be bad, while that would be honest, it wouldn't necessarily be a good look for the programs and may deter airlines from placing orders immediately. They may hold off. The delays, of course, are impacting airlines far and wide, and it's not just in terms of purchasing new aircraft, but it's actually their future schedule. For these carriers that are awaiting aircraft and are seeing delays, it means they have to adjust their future outlook to meet the delayed deliveries. Whether they're wide-body planes or narrow-body ones, the implications are just the same. Take a look at the A321XLR. This is an aircraft that is being delayed by a couple of years due to fuel tank issues. Of course, a couple of years in aviation terms is not a very long time, but it is still a delay, and for the airlines that were set to welcome on this aircraft, they're going to have to be adjusting their schedule, potentially extend the life of some older aircraft that maybe they wanted to get rid of. Interestingly enough though, a case can be made for the upcoming MAX 10 and MAX 7. While delays in deliveries are not so much related to supply chains, in the sense they're rather about approval, nevertheless, they are delays that impact customers. And in a market that is so heavily contested, and one that many would argue Airbus has the upper hand in, the American plane maker is doing everything to attempt to find solutions and get the planes approved in a safe but also timely manner, without it being of detriment to the airlines in question. The unfortunate reality is as the certification date continues to be pushed back, these customers that are set to welcome in the aircraft are having to adjust their route network, keep planes on, and are generally feeling the pressure of not having aircraft that they were expected to welcome in. What are your thoughts? Let us know down below in the comments. We greatly appreciate your support on GlobeTrotting and hope you've been enjoying the content. There's a lot more to come, so please do stay tuned. Any support at this point is really appreciated. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.